That is sparkly gold in there. Man, that is beautiful. This is just an absolutely spectacular piece, I think.
Greetings, friends. Welcome to the rock shop. We're inside today because it's cold outside, but we can still have ventures in the rock shop. How do we have ventures in the rock shop? Well, let me explain something we discovered. Ruth and I recently did our first craft fair, a pre-Christmas craft fair, and we had a blast putting it together. And believe it or not, we actually did pretty good. Paid all of our costs, recouped some from the things that we purchased in the past, and actually have some money to go forward with and go back to places like Richardson's. One of the products we offered at the craft fair was rocks that we had displayed under this sign. I thought, well, maybe if I cut rocks in half, polish them, put them back together, that people would be interested in what's inside the rocks. And if they found one they liked, they might want to purchase it. Well, turns out that's exactly what happened. People love discovering what's inside a rock, because sometimes these rocks didn't look very pretty on the outside, and then you opened them up and they're gorgeous on the inside. So I thought we could do the same thing, but in a video form. We have this bucket, it's a 5-gallon bucket filled with rocks, I'll show it to you here in a second, that I thought we could cut open. We have collected these rocks from various rock shops, Richardson's, the Caldera Rock Shop in McDermott, various other places where we could purchase rocks. So hopefully they're all jewelry grade items, but I thought it would be fun to take and cut them open and show you what's inside. Here's our bucket, and most of the items are labeled like this one, which is Brazilian agate, and I'm pretty sure we got that from Richardson's. And I'll just select several pieces out here. This one is Bernzite. We saw this up at Richardson's. Let's see what else we got here. This one says Richardson's Miscellaneous. Okay, so Richardson's has these piles of rocks, probably cast-offs or things that got misplaced. And Ruth loves to go through there. And this is one of the rocks she picked out. It looks like it's maybe a plume agate. I'm not sure. Could be something really good, and that's what's kind of fun. It could be a dud. Here's some fossil coral. Let's see. Here we got some sunrise jasper, and that's from McDermott. That's from the Caldera Rock Shop. This is one of their claims that they have. Here's some polka dot agate, and I guess you probably know where that's from. And let's see, here's a piece of, I believe it's called orange calcite, and we picked this up from a rock shop over in Bandon, Oregon, on vacation this year when we were over there. What are we going to start with? Let's see. Well, I have no idea how to cut sunrise, but let's try cutting some slabs of sunrise. I was noticing on the outside here, that has some druzy sparkles in there. Hopefully they show up. All right. Sunrise Jasper. Let's see what's inside. And the Sunrise Jasper is ready to go. Let's cut it. And here it goes. All right.
So here's our first piece. It's the Sunrise Jasper from McDermott that we bought from the Caldera Rock Shop. This is their claim. And it looked kind of plain to begin with. As we got into it, got some dendrites in there. But as each layer unfolded, it got crazier and crazier. I do not see or feel any fractures in there, which means these items, these parts broke apart and then cemented back together, which gives it its character. You can see some clear chalcedony showing up now in that one. And then we got through the end pieces into the bigger stuff. Now there's some wild looking stuff. That's crazy. Ruth says it's full of colors. And as we got deeper into it, it got crazier and crazier, which is really cool. I think you can see that. More and more clear showing up. More septarian looking stuff. And then the last slab I could get off of it was this one. Even more crazy color. Now I'm starting to see a little bit of gap right in there. And looks like there's little gaps right in there. But it's stuff we could certainly cut around. Interesting. And then the end piece. Very cool. Next, Bernzite. First time ever working with Bernzite, and I gotta say, let's push it in here a little bit. I'm impressed with what it looks like. If it holds up and it's hard. That is sparkly gold in there. Look at this one. It's got not just sparkly gold, but it's got, I think you can see it there, waves of gold that follow these patterns. Should be gorgeous. And it wasn't a very wide piece, so I didn't get very many, and I cut them a little bit thicker just to make sure that they were going to be solid. I think that might be better because when you cut them thicker, you get more of a dome, and you can display the rock a little more with a heavier dome. But that, whatever that is right now with water on it, is gorgeous, so I hope it comes out that way. And then I was able to put this one, I started this one off in the vise with the screws clamping on it on this side, so I was able to get down to that thickness. So it's got some different thicknesses in there, but that's absolutely okay. So far, Bernzite is spectacular. Next I have some agate from the Pride polka dot agate mines. There wasn't a lot of polka dots in here, but that doesn't mean it's not pretty. I think it's almost more like a Jasper, but it is translucent and it is beautiful. Definitely in the earth tones beautiful, but it's got some light stuff as well. Gives some nice contrast, and I suppose it's got these areas in there that you can see light through, so I guess that would be agate, but it's almost more like a Jasper agate. These are gorgeous. It's beautiful stuff. Another piece, you can start to see some of the polka dots showing up. That'll make a pretty cool cab. Then we start to get into some dendrites that grew out of those fractures before they became rehealed and became solid again. And there again, you can start to see more translucency in this section of the rock. A couple more here. This gets a little wild and start to get a little bit of a vug in here, but that's okay. You can use it creatively. We'll use it creatively. It's clearer than translucent, so that would make it quartz. And the end piece. Got the most dendrites in the end piece. The next what's inside is this Brazilian agate. And I was going to show these when they were all oily coming off the saw, but it made such a mess that I decided, no, we're going to go wash them up and just put water on them. All right, let's see. So this is a pretty amazing piece. It's got quite a bit of translucency. Not as much of a normal pattern as ones I've seen from Brazil, but really pretty and very, here I'll put a little light behind it. That's how translucent. And I see lots of bands and rays. Cool. Anyway, each of them looks like that. As I got into it, the gap grew. And I think you could probably see that that hole inside is completely coated with druzy. It's going to take some creativity to use that in a cabochon, but I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yep, and a bigger hole. That was the only bummer about this one. Beautiful thing, beautiful banding, beautiful all this stuff, but man, just lost so much of it. And less and less and less percentage. Well, not so bad. Very pretty. And then the end piece, this is the piece that has to get clamped in the clamp so I can go back later, and my clamp has these screws that come out and will grip it like this, and I can cut it all the way into slabs. Pretty though. You can see it's full of sparkles. Let's see, I don't know if that helps or not, but you can certainly see, as thick as it is, how translucent it is. That might actually just make a better specimen than it would a cabochon, but I like it. Let's move along. This one's different than anything else I've ever cut. It's pretty soft, but I would expect calcite would be soft. This is that, I think they call it a zebra calcite, sometimes a wave calcite with, and this is golden and white. And obviously they put something on the outside after they mine it to make the color shine, because that's kind of what the colors are like inside. But it does look really beautiful. I was noticing too, the calcite really absorbs the mineral oil a lot more. So, but man, that is beautiful. And each slice is beautiful. And the gold part is translucent. So that'll make some interesting cabochons. Beautiful. It was so soft though, my saw was having a hard time keeping a good grip on it. There's the next one. I actually was going to see if I could turn this around and clamp it with the screws in the vise, and I couldn't, which means I'm probably going to have to come back and cut it this direction the rest of the way. And that's okay. That's plenty thick to get some nice cabochons out of. And I do like how this has a little more up and down, but maybe as we go through, we'll find that does too. Sometimes treasure hunting pays off. And remember, we were looking at this, it was one of the first ones we picked up. Kind of ugly on the outside, couldn't really tell what it was, but Ruth found it in the treasure hunting pile. That's what we call it at Richardson's Rock Shop, Richardson's Rock Ranch, and she said, that looks interesting, I don't know what it is. Well, we now know what it is because we cut it open to find out what's inside, and what's inside is this. Well, let's see if we can get, I know you're getting glared. We'll go for a little bit bigger piece next. This is saginite. I think they maybe call it sagenitic agate. So it is an agate. It's translucent. You can see right through it. But it has all of those fibrous rays all through it. And interestingly, this is beautiful in that it gets, as we get deeper into the rock, and it was a good sized rock. I think we paid $1.50 a pound for it. But you start to get more and more colors as you get into the rock. And according to Ruth, it's red. You also get a little bit more translucency in some areas. But that is saginite through and through. And then interesting, that part that was clear, as we cut into it, became a quartz pocket. Look at that thing. I don't know if you can see it sparkle. You probably can. But yeah, that's an absolute quartz pocket. You can see the other side, you can see through it. Here, I'll go like this. Oh, wow, that was crazy. There we go. Just a plain. Maybe I'll just leave my flashlight on. You can see how clear that quartz pocket is. But here again, got beautiful red to white in the saginite. This is just an absolutely spectacular piece, I think. This is the treasure of the treasure hunt so far. Look at that. That is going to be fun to cut, figure out how to do slabs. And I would say there's probably 2 pounds here. So I got a lot to work with. Amazing. I like it down here where you have the red saginite fibers mixed with the white or light gray saginite. And I still got this whole piece to do. We got the majority of it cut, but that is amazing. And look how much deeper the red is as we got down to this end. Maybe it extends all the way into the back of this nodule part back here. But yeah, there's probably another five or so slabs that I can get off that. Not as big as the other ones, but very cool. Interesting too, you start to see some different stuff coming in to here. What a piece. What an amazing piece. And who'd have thought? But I got one more. This last rock is, well, we'll just call it a hot mess. Because it's a hot mess. I've never done anything with fossilized coral before, and that's what this is. And I found, well, just about everything in it. I started by cutting it the logical direction as far as the shape, cutting it where I could get the largest slabs. And it's interesting. You can see the tubes, and the next piece is very much the same, but I thought, you know, that's okay. This area over here, a lot of it just kind of broke off because, or you can see here, it's just too porous, so it didn't agatize like this side did. And again, that's pretty. It's got some colors. It's got some longitudinal lines. Here's one too. But as we got through this, and I'm realizing, okay, that's okay. I'll get definitely a couple of cabs out of that. I thought maybe it'd be better the other way because I thought I saw a little flower. So I cut the rest the other way, and it wanted to fall apart. They're not so big that way, but a lot different. Let's pull it in. All right, focus. They're like little tiny flowers in there. Some of these on this end, this one here begins to show it a lot better. See if I can focus in here. Focus. There it is. See that? That is really nifty. Pretty special. I'm not going to get a lot of cabs out of this piece, but that is really neat. And I can imagine as I dome those over, those are going to look neat. They're like little tiny flowers. And so I got several pieces of that just like that. I know it's going crazy on you a little bit here. There, now you can kind of see what it looked like. It's really cool. And I got a little chunk left. It's got some nice stuff in it, but I think it's going to be... I'll take some hard stuff off of this and put it in the tumblers. And it'll be something to give away to somebody that really thinks they want fossils. But anyway, I'll probably get a dozen cabs out of that hot mess. That will be unique.
I hope you enjoyed discovering what's inside. I've got more. Take a look in my bucket.
Got some blue agate. We'll do that next time. Some graveyard point. Some Davis Creek. This is rainbow obsidian. I've got some Paiute agate from Richardson's Rock, and some more Pride. Interesting. There's more down there. Until next time, may you discover beauty in each day of your life.